For over a year and a half, Ford India has been out of the spotlight, but now they're finally ready to get back into the thick of action. They've been busy consolidating their strengths, building a new plant at Sanand in Gujarat. Alongside that, they've also been developing a whole new product for a very competitive segment, the sub 4 meter category. And this new product is the Figo Aspire, the Ford Figo Aspire, which will compete against other sedans in this segment, such as the Maruti Suzuki Swift Desire, the Honda Amaze, the Hyundai Accent, and the Tata Zest. But we're going to leave that comparison aside for another day. Today, we're going to focus entirely on what the Figo Aspire sedan is all about. Here's our story on this new sedan. The sub 4 meter category isn't an easy segment to work fantastic designs in, and Ford isn't alien to the challenge. Ford's interpretation, however, has a 50-50 balance. The front end looks good, but the rear stubby. So while you see an attractive car approaching, what you see departing may not be entirely to your liking. Now this is a common problem afflicting the sub 4 meter category, and the only ones who managed to do a decent job with both hatch and sedan were Honda. And here anyway is an interesting tip. If you'd like to know what the forthcoming Figo hatchback will look like, imagine the Aspire sedan without a boot. The Figo Aspire's interiors definitely have to be one of the best in the segment, if not the best. Not because of the way it is designed. The cabin's fairly, well, the dashboard at least, it's a fairly nice looking dashboard. Definitely not the best in the segment, but what I do like about this cabin is the way everything has been put together, the way it's been executed. The build quality inside this cabin is just fantastic. I haven't experienced this in any other car, in any other sedan in this segment for that matter. On the negative side, I don't like the meters right behind the steering wheel over here. Very, very small meters. I would have expected to see a larger console. It's functional, but really not the most comfortable to see, to look at. This variant, which is the Titanium Plus, comes with the sync option. The Titanium variant will come with a docking station where you can dock your smartphone, and it will take fairly large cell phones. Of course, you'll have to take off the cover from there, and you can then use your cell phone to connect with Bluetooth functions to all the other functions as well. Lots of storage spaces everywhere, close to about 20 storage spaces all over this car, and most of them very useful, very usable and practically placed, can be accessed easily. Everything inside this cabin is very nicely put, even the seats for that matter. Now the Titanium Plus gets seats with leather upholstery in them. They're quite supportive. At the front, good under-thigh support, good shoulder back support as well. For the rear passengers, there's an ample amount of knee room, there's an ample amount of leg room, decent amounts of headroom. But again, under-thigh support out there isn't the best in the segment. I do wish that seat length was a little longer. You could have got better under-thigh support from there. Nonetheless, you're going to be sitting upright, and you will be fairly comfortable in there. 2 passengers will be very comfortable in the back space, but 3 will be a bit of a squeeze. Nonetheless, on the whole, I think this cabin definitely gets my vote. A very interesting feature that Ford is offering to its consumers is called My Key, and effectively every car will come with 2 keys. One will be a central locking key that looks like this. Of course, the other one will be a plain and simple key, but essentially I'm not going to go through the whole explanation of what My Key is, but in a nutshell what it does effectively is allows parents or owners to effectively set a speed limit and an audio volume limit on their car in case they're giving the car to somebody else to drive. So you can program what speed limit you want the car to be driven at. You can set it at 100 kilometers, which is the least, and going up from there 110, 120, 130, 140. But effectively it will prevent the person then given the next key to exceed that speed limit without your authorization. So it's a fantastic feature. I think a lot of parents are going to appreciate those features. Even a lot of owners who are not sure of what their chauffeurs, if they're chauffeur driven, don't know what their chauffeurs are doing with their car behind their back, then this is a fairly good feature for all of those people. The Figo Aspire is available with 3 engine options: a 1.5 litre turbo diesel and 2 naturally aspirated petrol engines, a 1.2 litre and 1.5 litre. None of which are entirely new, but tuned versions of engines already in operation in the Figo, EcoSport and the Fiesta. The diesel and the 1.2 petrol are matched with a 5-speed manual transmission, while the 1.5 petrol is only available with a 6-speed automatic transmission. We got our hands on both the petrol and diesel manual variants, though we were only able to film the diesel. The petrol 1.2 is a decent runabout in urban areas and adequate for short highway journeys, though on longer trips it will get exhausting to work that engine. The diesel's highlights, of course, is its refinement and the drivability. I must say, drivability is just brilliant on this, irrespective of which gear you are on, or what conditions you're driving in, whether it's urban or highway conditions, whether you're in second, third, fourth, fifth gear. The diesel's drivability is just marvelous. You've got torque on tap anytime you want it. It's right there at your beck and call. Roll-ons on the highway, absolutely superb. Place it in fifth gear, floor the throttle, and you feel the turbo kick in right from about 1,400-1,500 RPM. And the Figo Aspire sedan uses a fixed geometry turbo, unlike most of the cars, conventional cars, which now resort to variable geometry turbos. So the Figo Aspire sedan has got a fixed geometry turbo, and I think that's one of the reasons why you get the responses are that quick. Ford's cars, the cars that they've offered in India, have always been known for their ride quality, their dynamic performances, the steering precision, the transmission, the gear shift lever precision as well. And it's no different in the Figo Aspire sedan. It's absolutely the same. All of those inherent characteristics that have made Ford popular in India, well, they continue to stay true in the Aspire sedan as well. The transmission, slick transmission, absolutely precise, nice, slick throws to it as well. The steering, nice and chunky to hold, as I mentioned earlier, but also very, very precise where dynamics are concerned. But the sterling quality of this car has to be its ride quality. The suspension has been optimized. McPherson's at the front and a twist beam at the rear. It's been optimized for Indian conditions. Absolutely brilliant on bad roads or on the highways. Stable, composed, poised, and very confident at high speeds. In the city, you just don't feel a thing. Bad roads, you can just drive over them very comfortably without feeling a thing inside this car. And I must say, that has got to be the sterling, the USP of this car, its ride quality. The sub 4 meter sedan segment is a fairly crowded space with 4 big and strong players who have the network strength as well to back up solid products. So Ford coming into this segment will need a strong USP. And to that end, the Figo Aspire's USP will be its lead on safety. You get driver and passenger airbags as standard, but the highest trim level, the Titanium Plus, gets 6 of these. You also get ABS with EBD and traction control and hill climb assist, which comes in handy when driving on an incline. There are a lot of safety features available in the Figo Aspire, and that is a very positive move on Ford's part to highlight safety as a principal objective. Well, I'm not going to get out of this car and conclude my story. I'm going to just do it right here as I'm driving this car, simply because I don't want to get out of this car. It is that much fun. And I must say, Ford is onto another, big innings with this sedan. It's very hard to have thought that Ford could have trumped Honda's Amaze or the Hyundai Accent or Maruti's Desire. And it may not do as big numbers as either of these cars simply because the network's much larger. But as a car, as an enthusiast or as a owner who wants to have that peace of mind, drivership, ownership experience, the Figo Aspire is right there on top with the rest of them. Fantastic car, I think holds a lot of promise for consumers looking for a compact sedan, who want a great driving experience, who want the confidence and the safety that a sedan can offer. I don't think there's any car that can match up to this almost on any aspects. However, I'll still leave that verdict for a full test. Nonetheless, I'm quite confident that the Figo Aspire will ace that comparison test when it happens.